Good morning, it's Dave at All Things Important Reviews. Please smash that like button, please smash the subscribe button for more awesome watch content. This is a comparison review of the GST-B200D and the GST-B300SD. Both bracelet models. This is a 2019 model, this is a 2020 model. They both look similar yet somewhat different. They're both pretty thick, 14.3mm versus about 15.3mm. But the diameter on the one on the right is less than the one on the left because of the overhang of this button. And the lug to lug is slightly smaller on the B300, as you can see, but the thickness is more on the B300. So in terms of sizing, it's a strange one. Overall, I probably just slightly prefer the B300 for how it fits on bracelets. On a band, I easily prefer the B200. The band on the B300 is way too tough and not comfortable in my opinion. So in terms of sizing, even though the B300 is thicker, it's about 1 millimeter thicker or so, I do actually prefer the feel of the B300 than the 200. And part of the reason is because the smaller diameter on the B300 and the smaller lug to lug. The appearance, again, it's totally subjective, this, completely subjective. I like the fact they have a 12 o'clock marker indices. I like the shape of this one slightly more than the just circular one on the B200. So I think the winner in a purely subjective one is the B300 in the way that I like watches to look. It's slightly better, in my opinion, on the B300. But that is a totally subjective belief. I like the ergonomics as well of the B300 because you've got a light here instead of a light here. The lights work brilliantly on both. They light up both the sub-dial and the main analog dial. They're both anti-digital. They're both tough solar, so they'll charge a fluorescent and non-fluorescent light. They both have Bluetooth, so you can have synchronized time perfectly all year round by synchronizing it to your phone. They're both 200 meter water resist, and they're both stainless steel. Obviously they have some plastic carbon core inside of them, but they're both stainless steel models basically. And they both have brilliant bracelets, very comfortable. So looks, I'm going to give it to the B300. Features and functionality, I'm going to give it a draw because they both, as far as I'm aware, have the same features, all the same, you know, world time, all that, water resistance, Bluetooth, all that. I'm going to give it a draw. Some models have other functionality with the Mudmasters. They have like, I think they have temperature and other kind of, and compass and all that stuff, which again, doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered, I never use any of them features, but it's worth pointing out you can get additional features on some Mudmasters, and some you can get GPS on some of the MTGs, I believe, and you can get multiband. Obviously, multiband is on this model, which I've mentioned previously, which gives you perfect timing if you live in a multiband radio atomic time country, which England is. So I get that here, but these do not have this functionality, which again is a shame, but not a biggie. The bracelets on both, I'm going to give a draw because they're both basically the same bracelet. They both have the same pins, or very similar pins. Is that slightly thinner? No, I don't think it is. So in my opinion, it's a draw on the features. As I mentioned, on the bracelet, they are very, very similar. The pins are excellent, the way that you remove the links. They have these little push pins inside. You don't have to smack them out or anything like that. it's like a spring bar essentially. You just put your tool in, press them out very gently, and they come out. The clasp bar is again practically identical, very similar, deployant push button clasp. It is pressed again on these watches where we want to keep it light. That's not a problem at all. So the bracelets are super comfortable and they look brilliant. I'll put them on for you. Yeah. The main criticism of these watches is the thickness. Now Casio, they are too thick basically. They should be a couple of mil thinner. Now the B400, which is the updated model that's come out this year. In fact, I've actually got it right next to me. This is the model to get if you're bothered about size and thickness, because this is only 12.9 mil thick. But they've addressed it with that model. These models are too thick basically, and make them about 185 grams. Now, for some people that is just going to be too much and too big, so you could wear them on the band, and you can. But for me, I'm a bracelet guy. I prefer them on the bracelets personally. So for me, they are bracelet watches, and again, they are a draw on the bracelet. Which one do I prefer overall? I prefer the B300 overall personally. But if it's on a rubber band, definitely the B200. The B200 band is far more suppler and softer than the B300. The B300 band is uncomfortable to me. If it's on a bracelet, I slightly prefer the B300, and I prefer the looks of the B300. But again, looks, they both look fantastic as far as I'm concerned. So it was a quick little comparison there. You know, there's other reviewers that have gone through every single mode on them and show you how to use everything. The vast majority of people that buy these watches will never use half the modes. They'll use the tough solar, obviously, and they might use the Bluetooth, but they're not going to and they might use the alarm and light, but they're not going to use everything else, like world time and stuff like that. I don't know anyone who really uses all that stuff. So I'm not going to waste time going through all that really. But yeah, nice watches. Great beaters. Hopefully, if you can get them in a sale for below 200 quid, you're laughing. Great value. You will not get value that you get in these watches off any other watch company in the world. There is no one like Casio that makes watches as good as these for the price. No one. Citizen don't. Seiko definitely don't. I mean, Tough Solar and multiband. Tough Solar, well, these haven't got multiband. Tough Solar, Bluetooth, and 200 meter water resist, and all stainless steel solid bracelet, and looking brilliant. The crystals are hardlex, they're a mineral, but it is Casio's mineral crystal. It's not a normal mineral crystal, and they do something to them to give them an extra bit of protection and scratch resistance. That's not to say, I mean, I've been wearing this one for how long? For 2.5 years, 3 years. I can't see any scratches on my crystal. Can't see any scratches. And just pointing this out, this one actually fits slightly better than these two, but this is a W model. It's a GST-B300D 2018 model, I think, or 2018, yeah. But these ones still feel good, but not as good. But yeah, great watches from Casio. I can't wait to see the 2022 B model. I can't wait to see that one. And I'm going to pick up a few more colours in the B400. So thanks for checking my review out. It's been Happy New Year to everyone, and have a great week. Cheers.